Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Miasin. I'm actually going to be doing a double deck review for today, and if you guys actually like this approach, definitely let me know, because honestly I feel like from moving forward, I either want to make deck reviews on deck lists that have topped events like locals obviously, or remote duos, or anything like that. So if you actually manage to top an event, please, when you send your deck list on the Discord server, of course link will be in the description box below, just make sure you actually let me know like your matchups, what was your final score and stuff like that, just so I can actually give better, more accurate information to the audience. And also I'm going to have just more information to work with when I'm going to make the deck review. But yeah, anyways, today we're actually going to be focusing on Thunder Shaddoll, okay, and a Cyber Dragon deck. So before you start, friendly reminder to like and subscribe. Motivates me so much to keep making videos like these, and yet let's jump right into it. So the first thing that we can actually notice, interesting, Scorpio and Lone Fire Blossom, but Lone Fire is only a one of. And what does it really achieve? What are you searching? Well, technically you can search quite a bunch of cards. I think you can even search Super Poly. It's search, wait, hold on. The actual search is Cobra. I always think that this is the card that does everything, but this is only the special summon from deck, but this is technically the MVP. It's just that you hate to draw it, because Cobra has to summon from the deck. I think there's one Predaplant that randomly summons from the hand, but it's pretty specific and it's hard to trigger. I could be super wrong. But anyways, Cobra searches for a polymerization spell card or fusion spell card from your deck to your hand. And of course, Super Poly, Shaddoll Fusion, and Thunder Dragon Fusion are all fusion cards or polymerization cards, which is pretty nice, but it's not like you were really playing like Brilliant Fusion, Instant Fusion, and stuff like that. So the first thing that I would actually do in this deck list would be to play one Instant Fusion, since you can search it anyways, and when Retort Fusion is going to be a thing, play that, because you can summon Kaminari Attack, and then banish like a Thunder Dragon Roar, for example, summon the Thunder Dragon Fusion. This is already like a 2-card combo, just letting you know, and it's going to boost your consistency by a long shot, so please do that. And also, I kind of have like cancer when I see one Lone Fire Blossom. The card's like really overpowered, so no, I would play 3. I definitely would play 3 Lone Fire Blossom. But anyways, 3 Thunder Dragon. I'm very back and forth on Thunder Dragon. It's almost like I'm getting to a point where I think that Thunder Dragon isn't even that great of a card in Thunder Dragons, because you can kind of live without it. But I do agree that as long as Super Bolt is not a thing and you only have like Titan, being able to like pop multiple cards when you're going second is actually very welcome. So sure, you can play Thunder Dragon, it's fine. Thunder Dragon Roar, also, that's a pretty good card. And then Thunder Dragon Dark, yeah, both a 3 makes sense. Only one Thunder Dragon Hog, that's interesting. I feel like 1 or 2 is good. 3 would definitely be way too much. It's also not an Allure of Darkness target, which is one of the reasons why I wasn't a big fan of 3 Thunder Dragon. I feel like the Scorpio at 3 almost always makes sense, because you can also allure into it, banish it. And Lone Fire being a fire, I can kind of understand the reasoning behind not playing more than 1, but it's still something that I disagree with, because you want to max out on consistency. But anyways, 2 Shaddoll Squamata with 2 Ariel, 1 Wendy, no Beast, no, okay, yeah, well, no, you don't need a Hedgehog. Beast, I don't know if you really need it. And then the Genius. Okay, Genius is interesting. Basically, the flip effect is you can target one Shaddoll monster you control, specifically Shaddoll, not like generic monster. That face-up monster is unaffected by monster effects this turn except this own. I don't really like this because it's only like this turn, and also if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one effect monster on the field. Neither player can activate that target's effect on the field this turn. Again, this turn. You can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. Not sure if I'm a really big fan, and also, again, it's not a dark, so yeah, I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's really important to have as many darks as possible when you're playing Allure, because otherwise you might get into tricky situation where you do have darks, but it's like darks that you really don't want to banish. So yeah, even if your bad cards are, as long as they're darks, it's kind of like more okay-ish. Or if you draw like cloggy, I don't know, like redundant cards, like you can draw triple Scorpio and Allure, and it won't be that bad, because the second Scorpio would be the discard fodder for does this card even discard, or this card discards? Actually, I don't even know if a single card discards. Oh wow, yeah, actually it doesn't discard, but still, yeah, no. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I wouldn't play Genius. Shaddoll Dragon, sure. I guess it's good against Floodgates, there can only be one and stuff like that. Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon? Really? I mean, it's good if you're making rank 8s. Are you making rank 8s? You're not making rank 8s. If Colossus was a thing, even if you weren't even making it as, you know, as a kind of like a floodgate monster, it would at least make you like Dingirsu and stuff. But that is sadly not something that you are able to do. So Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon, outside of like recycling back banished dragons, it achieves nothing. It's just another one of those BLS cards, and it literally recycles nothing outside of these guys. I guess you can technically Gold Sark into Levineer and then Chaos Emperor Dragon like get it back. It's also searchable with Melody of Awakening Dragon. You know what, sure. It's just that I feel like at this point, I would almost even consider playing a second Levineer instead. Or, this Arch Nemesis is Shaddoll. Is it the only one that is searchable by Melody, or the other one is also searchable? The one that is like attribute instead of type. I forgot the name, but this is the type one, because it would be really hard to banish 3 monsters with different attributes. Like, yeah, sure, you have fire, light, dark, or like light, dark, water, or wind, or earth, but that's just really specific. Only light and dark are easy, but obviously for the type, there's plant, there's thunder, and there's everything else, basically, even dragon. But still not something that I'm really a big fan of. And also, there is no longer Diabolos, the big guy that actually tributes and hand loops the opponent. So therefore, I don't even think I would even play Melody of Awakening Dragon, and at this point I would probably just cut one of these guys in favor of maybe a second Levineer, as I said. But anyways, 3 Allure of Darkness, 3 Super Poly. Super Poly is only good if you have a ridiculous amount of targets that are really live in your deck, extra deck, sorry. And I see that you're also not playing Mud Dragon of the Swamp. I always confuse that and Muddy Mud Dragon. And also, is there another Super Poly target that's really worth playing? I guess I know for a fact that you should be okay if you just have Construct, Winda, and Starving Venom, but still, the more the merrier, I guess. And do you need all these cards in the extra, like, as Link monsters? Like, to me, you really don't need Crusadia Avermax, like, at all. Construct, maybe, but Anaconda kind of does the job anyways. If you're going second, Anaconda is broken. You can send Shaddoll Fusion from your deck to the grave and then apply the effect. Cross Sheep, Cross Sheep is good into going into Boral Sword, but again, I can't see Avermax doing much. Unless if you're really trying to abuse Construct with Cross Sheep. Sure, there has to be a combo that I'm not seeing. Well, I mean, I can kind of see it. It's just, I don't think it's broken. I feel like they're probably kind of better. I guess it gives you versatility so you can actually jump over things, shuffle without targeting and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's not that bad. Anyways, Melody of Awakening, like I said, Thunder Dragon Fusion, Gold Sark, of course, if you could play more, you would play more, but it's limited, sadly. And then Rest Shaddoll and Incarnation, Shaddoll Schism, and Triple Evenly, I'm definitely going to be disagreeing with. A lot of people are actually main decking Artifact Lancia, so especially against Thunder Dragons when you know that they actually have a card like Allure, people will not be using Lancia after you start using cards, because if you use Allure and you chain Lancia, they still draw 2. It doesn't just fizzle, resolve with no effect. So you would actually have to go Lancia on standby, and regardless of how you use the Lancia, it's always going to completely cuck evenly, which I don't know if I'm a big fan of. So yeah, no, yeah, I definitely, yeah, I would honestly cut evenly just so this deck would become 40 cards, or just so I'd have the space to, like, I don't know, add more Lone Fires, add a second Dragon Hawk or something like that, but that's probably just me. Anyways, for the side deck, we actually have 3 Nibiru, 3 Lancia, 3 Gadarla. Nice, Gadarla is the best kaiju, not Gamma Seal or some BS. So Gadarla to beat the Wind Barrier statue, very nicely done. And then I don't want to hover over this card, but it's Ash. I already did it, I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this channel PG-13. Anyways, 2 Phantasmian, Denko Sekka, Denko Chile, basically. It's also searchable without having to cheat, which is nice because if you live in Chile, you don't actually have to search this with Thunder Dragon Fusion. You can basically search this off of this actually. So yeah, that's basically the way you consistently have access to Denko Sekka, which is pretty nice. Anyways, for the extra deck, we have Boral Sword, yeah, of course, and then Crusader Avamax, blah blah blah. Shaddoll Construct, Anaconda, Cross Sheep, Double Titan, 3 Construct, 2 Wendy, Al Capone, and then we have Starving Venom and Dragostapelia. Yes, that's basically it for this deck list. Let's jump into the second one, which is Cyber Dragon. I wish I actually had a bit more experience with some. No, okay, I'm just kidding. Anyways, 3 Ash, of course. Everybody's playing Ash. The majority of people are playing with the right artwork, though. At least that's one thing. The effect actually becomes better. Although the one thing that I want to say for the artwork for Cyber Dragon, I know this might sound like a weird tip, but please try to avoid playing different arts of one card, because your opponent might be able to tell the amount of cards that you're playing. So if you go game 1 and show them the normal Cyber Dragon, and then game 2 you show them the evil Cyber Dragon, they're gonna be like, okay, you guaranteed 100% you play over one Cyber Dragon, so now I actually have to be mindful of machine dupe. Whereas if you only show them the, one art of Cyber Dragon, they could be telling themselves, oh, I don't know how many Sidras you play, so machine dupe isn't going to be something that they're going to inherently think about. So yeah, just a little tip. Same thing with like the rarities. Try to make the rarities always match with each other. Because even if you have the same Cyber Dragon, but it's like common, ultra, secret, ultimate, whatever, if it's like super different, yeah, it's also going to give information away. You want everything to be as possible. Anyways, 3 core, 1 Hertz. What? He's playing 1 Hertz with 2 Galaxy Soldier. That's unheard of. I used to play 1 Hertz in a really whack deck list that played Card of Demise with Pot of Duality, but that is no longer a possibility. Hee, that rhymed, LMAO. Anyways, next with Fear, DD Crow, Double Veiler. DD Crow and Double I mean, that's an interesting lineup of hand traps. I've seen this in the OCG because DD Crow, it can actually be banished to use the effect of your Tri-Brigades, but I don't know, I would definitely play some other hand traps before I would start doing that. So first of all, Hertz I feel like should be a 3 of because you're playing Galaxy Soldier. Second of, I think these should actually be substituted for Ghost Bell. I think Ghost Bell is already better. Skullmeister, you can also argue that Skullmeister is really good. And then, yeah, whatever, Galaxy Soldier, Jizukiru. Normally, Windbearer Statue, Gadarla would actually be better, but Jizukiru is searchable by Repair Plan, so that actually makes a lot of sense. And then Triple Nibiru, okay, sure, that is also a-okay. The first card that actually just, to me, doesn't make sense. Red Blossoms from Under Root, it actually... I know the effect of this card, kind of. You can special summon it from your hand by banishing like a spell and shaft from both players' graveyard, which is a bit whack, and then you can pretty much revive back like an extra deck kind of monster from your graveyard, I think, but I mean, no, it's just a lot of setup. It's just gonna be that weird, like, one of that kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like when we were kids and it was really hard to make like a pure deck. We always had like our signature cards in them that had like absolutely nothing to do with the deck. Like would I have like freaking UFO Roid in my Cyber Dragon deck? It's a light machine. But obviously it doesn't achieve anything. Or to have like Shining Angel so I can summon just random Sidras that are really weak. But obviously it doesn't make any sense and I don't recommend it at all. Anyways, Emergency Cyber with 1 Repair Plant. Rev System. I would definitely cut Rev System, but a lot of people really like the card. Not even think that it's good, just like the card, enjoy it. I'm not going to argue with that. You are entitled to your own feelings. Cyberload Fusion, Foolish Burial. No, Foolish Burial is not good at all. Like, absolutely not good. Please don't tell me that this card is okay or you like it, because for me it sucks like 90% of the time. Like, if you have a good hand, Foolish Burial does nothing, and if you have a horrible hand, it's not like it made your hand like much better. You can even argue that playing more Overflows and MST actually made your hand better like more often. So Foolish Burial is a no-no for me. And Machine Dupe at 2, thank you. Machine Dupe at 2 is actually a good ratio. I like that when you're playing 3 Sidras. You can even play 2 Sidras and play 1 Machine Dupe, or still play 2 Machine Dupe, it's not that bad. But yeah, 3 Machine Dupe is way too much, way too much. Anyways, Monster Reborn. Yeah, you can revive back your opponent's monsters. You really don't need Rev System, man. Honestly, Monster Reborn is all you need. And then Double Overload Fusion. Oh, that's way too much. Yeah, 1 is just way more than enough. Okay, Desires. No, definitely don't play Desires. You need like 1-ofs that are very specific in your deck. Like Cyberload, you can banish the 1 Hertz, and then Galaxy Soldier would be forced to discard like 2 lights instead of just discarding the 1 Hertz. Or even worse, you can actually banish Galaxy Soldier and then a lot of consistency cards, and then draw into another Galaxy Soldier and just random cards like, I don't know, Red Blossoms from Underroot or Hand Traps and stuff like that. So Desires is absolutely not good in this deck. The only pot that you can kind of play would be Pot of Prosperity. It's not a draw card, but it's kind of like a duality-esque card. That is good, but apart from that, no. Anyways, Overflow. Triple Strike, no, you shouldn't play Strike because of how this deck is kind of just built in a way. You're really trying to OTK your opponent with a lot of aggressive cards, like Machine Dupe, a lot of Cyber Dragons and stuff, so Solemn Strike is just going to slow you down. Same thing with Royal Decree. Royal Decree doesn't achieve much it doesn't achieve much more in the long term than it does in the short term, because there's not even gonna be a long term. There's only a short term. So Red Reboot is way better than Royal Decree. Consider that instead. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I really had to say for the main deck. But anyways, for the side deck, we have 3 Lancet, which is fine. Contact C, that's a great card actually. I want to make like a full review on this. Dry, okay, yeah, sure, that's also another kind of interesting card. This is more of like an idea section than a side deck, actually, I can tell. Dry, you can actually play this in the main deck if you're not playing Galaxy Soldier, but if you are, it's just not really worth it. No, don't play Gamma, like I said, play Gadarla. If you already have Jizukiru, and then you can kind of consider Interrupted Slumber Kaiju, but I definitely wouldn't. Starving Venom was super poly, and then like other stuff, like Mud Dragon, Jesus. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Yeah, that's the super poly target. Anyways, another repair plan, please no. Dark Ruler, sure, and Forbidden Drop, but Forbidden Drop is expensive. I can respect if people are in a budget and don't want to spend like $10 billion on a deck. I guess that's kind of like why Desires was there instead of Pot of Prosperity. It's probably not because he's not aware that it's better, it's just that he can't like invest $100 on it. And as a matter of fact, I don't even have a Cyber Dragon deck that is like actually fully loaded. I play with like 12 proxies in my deck. I mean, locals are closed until 2027, so might as well. Anyways, limited removal, that's just not good anymore. Super Poly Twin. Twin is like the cheap, good version of Lightning Storm and stuff, and you can destroy your opponent while he has like anti-spell. Yeah, sure, that's not bad. Cyber Network, Cyber Network is only good if we get like really good cards in the future that could be like really nice, but for now, definitely no. Goes and Match and Crackdown. These are just only good if you're playing like more dedicated to traps, but in this deck list, I definitely wouldn't. Anyways, for the extra deck, 1 Fortress, 1 Mega Fleet, 1 Over Dragon. No, you don't need Over Dragon. If anything, you would need a second Rampage, because you can easily summon this with Overload and Cyberload, and even Nova when it dies or when it gets like Maximist, but definitely not of the Over Dragon, definitely no. Cyber Eternity Dragon, you can even argue that this could be a super poly target if your opponent plays like Orchist or something like that. Use a Cyber Dragon on your field, then 2 Machine Monsters on their field, but again, I wouldn't do that. And then Cyber Twin, there's actually a combo where Cyber Twin can actually kind of OTK your opponent, but at the same time, thanks to Anaconda and Overload into Rampage, Cyber Twin is no longer really needed. Pleiades, maybe. Infinity, no, again, I keep telling people why 1 Infinity and 2 Nova is incorrect. People don't really listen, but it's because you can easily summon Infinity. It's really hard to Xyz summon Nova because you need 2 level 5. But in order to Xyz summon Infinity, it's actually much easier. And now you might be like, no, it's actually harder. Well, first of all, how can it be hard? If you can actually summon Nova, it instantly means that you can summon Infinity. But there might be a way you can summon Infinity without having the resources to make Nova. Let me explain myself. Let's just say you're in a grind game, you have Nexter, and you have like Nova in your graveyard, but you don't have the ability to make 2 level 5s. You can just revive back the Nova and then overlay Infinity on top, instead of just having to like only summoning back 1 Infinity from your grave. Sometimes you won't even have the Infinity in the grave, you only have the Nova because your opponent actually prevented you from even going into your Infinity. So that way you actually have a fully loaded Infinity on summon, and then you can absorb a monster, and then instead of having 23, you actually have 25. And besides, if you play 2 Nova and 1 Pleiades, think about it. You have 3 rank 5s, but the Galaxy Soldier is a one-trick pony. You make like 1 rank 5 and that's it, that's all. And then you would have to rely on like Machine Dupe, and then there will be like your second rank 5 summon. And then there's nothing else to make like rank 5s in your deck. So yeah, playing 3 rank 5s for a deck that can only make them twice in one game? No, definitely not something that I can like. So 2 Infinity, 1 Nova is correct. And then we have the Seeger. Phoenix, interesting. Are you really doing something with Phoenix? I would definitely play Paz Lumino, and I would also replace the Link Kuriboh with Relinquished Anima. So definitely something that you really have to look into. And then we have the Anaconda and the El Mirage. Both of these cards are completely logical. So that's really it for these 2 deck reviews. If you guys actually like this, this formula, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and submit your deck list in the Discord server. Link is always in the description box below, and I will see you next time. Peace.